Well, guys, it's a new day, which means a new former MrBeast employee has come out with another story. And what would the slop god be if I can't provide you your daily cup of milk? Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a while since we've covered MrBeast, but a creator by the name of The Asher Show posted a video called The MrBeast Allegations Just Got Worse. It's over. It's bad. It's done. No, we've seen these type of titles for quite some time now, but the Asher Show is a very large creator with 597,000 subs. And this video has gotten 660,000 views in 2 days, so safe to say it did some damage. Now, in the first, 10 minutes or so, he just covers everything that's going on with Dogpack from the MrBeast as a psycho, a sociopath, a liar, all this other stuff, all the videos about Beast Games and Rosanna and Jake Weddle and all the different stuff that we've already kind of covered on this channel. But where it gets really interesting is where we get introduced to the former employee of MrBeast. So this is Trey Yates. He used to work for MrBeast. As we can see, he's an amiibo collector. I have a few amiibos. I love amiibos. I love action figures. I'm a nerd. So we're both nerds. We're coming at this from a nerdy perspective, right? This guy's a bit talented. He's a bit creative. And that's why he worked for MrBeast.
So I worked for Jimmy from November of 2018 to, I think, beginning October of 2021, so almost 3 years.
What did you do there?
Almost 3 years. And we're gonna get what he did there.
Mainly just editing?
I started off with me editing for Beast Reacts in 2018. Did a lot of work to really prove myself on that, and then became editor and post-production manager.
So, as we know, he's an editor. And he spends a lot of this video kind of talking about the working conditions of, MrBeast, and it kind of lines up with a lot of the other stuff that we've seen. One thing specifically he talks about is how he was forced to work like longer than 40 hours, and it got really interesting, and Jimmy was kind of angry when he didn't want to work weekends anymore. And it just caused a bit of a conflict because, of course, you want your employees to work as long as possible and have least amount of scheduling conflicts as possible. And the Asher Show here, talked about how working 40 hours was illegal, which I don't think is technically true. I'm not from where he is. I don't know how it works with what kind of company MrBeast runs. But I used to work at Target. I'm out of there now, so I don't mind doxing myself. But when I worked at Target, you could only work 40 hours a week. If you worked more than 40 hours, you would be in overtime. And of course, a company like that doesn't want to pay you more, so they say, get the hell out of here, we'll call somebody else in. So I don't think working 40 hours or more would ever be considered illegal. They would just have to pay you and promptly pay you for the overtime of working past 40 hours.
And it was during that call that I was like, Jimmy, I'm not working more than 45 hours anymore per week. I'm not working Saturdays and Sundays anymore. I will continue working for you, but I'm not doing that. And he paused and he was taken aback. And he was like, oh, I didn't know you felt that way. Which is, how do you say that? The average work week for an American is 40 hours a week. How are you going to say that to me? And people at Walmart can't work more than 40 hours a week, because if they do, then Walmart's breaking a law. I told him on that call with the two other leads at Horizontal.
Now, for reference, I pulled up the North Carolina Department of Labor website for the maximum and minimum hours worked. And we can see right here, the employer is only required to pay time and 1/2 overtime pay based on an employee's regular rate of pay for all hours worked and an excess of 40 in a work week to its non-exempt employees. There is no limit on the number of hours the adult employee may be required to work. So yeah, similar to how it is where I live, if you work more than 40 hours, the company must pay you time and a half. Now, mind you, overtime laws and whatnot do not apply if you are working on your own accord, in your own will, or if you are salaried. So if, I work for a company and they don't tell me to go do something, but I want to go do it so that I can further my own, work related activities or whatnot, that's completely on me. If there's like a way I can clock in or something, of course you should do that. But if you're doing something related to the company without kind of being managed or told to do so, then, it's no one's fault at the company. And again, if you're on salary, that's a whole nother thing that I don't know if the overtime laws and whatnot would apply to that. In this same video, he talks about how he was working all night long up until like 3:30, 4 a.m., helping these people edit videos, give comments, critiques, just to do it all again. Wake up, 9 a.m. the next morning to actually go and be on set for the productions. Not a great lifestyle. 5, 6 hours of sleep every single night is not healthy for anyone, specifically adult human beings. We barely can run well on 8 hours. So living off of, 5, 4 hours of sleep, very, very unhealthy.
I was also production manager. I was also an editor, and I was also a retention specialist.
Wow.
And yeah, so I had 4 main job. I had 4 full-time jobs wearing all these hats all at the same time, because I would go, like, the other editors would edit the videos and then send it to me via Frame. I don't know if you know what Frame is, like where you leave comments on videos and things like that. And they would send that to me, and I would stay up until 3 a.m., 4 a.m. every single night, commenting on those videos on what needs to change. Like, I worked Thanksgiving, Christmas, my 30th birthday, 4th of July, from 2020 to 2021, New Year's, like every single holiday you can think of. I worked those holidays just so I could comment on these videos, and then I would go to bed at 3 or 4 a.m. and then get up at like 9:30 the next day just so I could drive back to the studio and then work on production stuff.
And you can imagine that would lead to, unsafe work conditions. Again, was he forced to do this? I guess that's something we would need to find out. Some people just have different work ethics. I don't mind staying up all hours of the night streaming and editing and working on videos. Kind of hard when I'm in the middle of a move, but different work ethics include different things, right? And so if I had like a crazy work ethic and I was up all night, editing and working on videos, I can't blame YouTube saying like, you guys forced me to stay up. The next morning I had to wake up early and go to work or something. So that's just kind of, a skill issue. No, I'm kidding. It's not a skill issue. It's just more or less, that's something that you would have to kind of confirm if Jimmy forced you to do all this stuff, or that's just how your timing of things happen to line up. While it's unfortunate you were, staying up that late, that's not really something I can blame on Jimmy or MrBeast. Now, I watched this video on stream, and another point that was kind of interesting in this video was he talks about in 2020 there was a time where people were being given Adderall. The employees of the MrBeast company were being given Adderall. Adderall keeps you awake. It keeps you moving.
Summer of 2020, it might have been fall, where Adderall was being passed around the company, and there were higher up employees that were offering it to other employees just so they could work all night and edit videos all night, so that way they could like stop complaining and stop sleeping. And it was investigated internally within the company, but how far does that go? It's like it did nothing. Like this whole thing lasted like a week. I remember James Warren had to be pulled out of the company story for like a week, and then the next week he was right back in. That's an employee, I believe that's one of James Warren's friends, named Devin Leach, and that's him admitting right there that like he is part of the crew that's passing around Adderall in the company. And by the way, in that message, John Smith is Jimmy. And it's funny that my proof of that being Jimmy is this message that I found where he sent an article of his wiki feed confirming that that's him. Yes.
Right.
Right. Adderall is used to treat attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD. It works by changing the amounts of certain natural substances in the brain. It belongs to a class of drugs known as stimulants, which increases your ability to pay attention, stay focused, and control behavior problems, right? So somebody, if this is true, was on the MrBeast team. You know, they had their little pill bottle and they crack it open, they're walking around. You want one? You want one? You want one? Like they're handing out samples. You know, they're handing out samples for the Beastables bar. They just have a little Adderall tucked in right inside. You know, like when you feed a dog, you slip a little pill in there. Say, here you go. Get back to work. We've got some videos to work on again. These are allegations. I don't know if that's happening. I do think it lines up with other things we heard about from one of the Dogpack videos. He mentions, you know, they were being given Adderall at the team. Now, for the record, it says from this site called The Checkup by Single Care. Again, do your own research and look into this. Don't just trust me blindly. But it does say Adderall is available via prescription from primary care physicians, nurse practitioners, neurologists, or psychiatrists. But determining whether someone needs it is challenging, and because it's a controlled substance. So, if these allegations are true, if the Wiki Feet account in there is actually MrBeast, there is a trading of controlled substances. One person is getting it prescribed and it's being handed out to the team. There's no way that you can buy Adderall in bulk and give it to your team legally, right? It's why it is such a difficult drug to get. So not only are we dabbling in a bit of unhealthy work conditions, there's possibly undercover drug exchanges going on, right? Now, they like to joke and just say, you know, it's just giving Adderall. We're just giving these guys a little Adderall. It's like buying your friend a Monster because he needs a little energy. No, this is completely different once you're adding in a controlled substance. Trey Yates guy to be true, because this is a very dangerous claim once again. You know, I'm not accusing him of anything. He's showing screenshots. That's what we like. We like to see screenshots and allegations and like evidence to back up the allegations. But talking about, you know, a company engaging in giving away controlled substances to people without prescriptions, without, you know, legal medical advisors and whatnot is very dangerous. Now, a little later in the video, he talks about the LaKoya Hill situation. And if you guys remember the Dogpack video, it was the guy who was accused of SAing people in the company, whether it was his assistant and some straight people doing things with this gay man. But again, LaKoya Hill was someone who worked in the adult film industry or the adult industry and just ended up coming over to the MrBeast team and then like moving around between a bunch of different companies that Mr. Yates here had firsthand experience with.
Yes, I talked a lot with LaKoya when I was at MrBeast. When the sexual assault allegations or accusations started in 2021, it was announced in the company that LaKoya was taking a family leave, and that family leave occurred for a month. And then someone messaged me, and I don't remember if it was Ava, I don't remember if it was Carl or someone, but someone messaged me and they gave me the tip of, hey, LaKoya's not been on family leave for a month. He got caught sexually assaulting his assistant. And I was like, what the fuck?
Wow.
He took his leave July, and then it was confirmed that that happened in like August of 2021. And the tweet that I posted the other day was also, you know, it didn't like confirm my knowledge of the sexual assault allegations or anything, although, you know, there's messages of that too. It just added more info about like how things are run in the company.
And ladies and gentlemen, that's about it. There's a lot of interesting details in this video. Again, the more and more MrBeast, like former employees, start to come out, and more stories I feel are going to collaborate and whatnot. And it's always better to get more and more evidence, proof, whatever the case may be. I'm going to make a guess here that Trey Yates is one of the people who reached out to Dogpack. I really wish he would have included this guy, Trey Yates, in his part 2.5 video. I really feel like it would have avoided a lot of the speculation and a lot of the people who were against the video if Trey Yates would have just been like, yeah, I'm the face, I'm willing to speak and tell my story, compared to waiting like a week until after that video dropped to come out. But hey, he's come out, so we can finally put a face to one of the MrBeast sources who was a part of the team from like the years prior, before Dogpack decided to make his new videos, because he wasn't working at the Beast team during that time. So to have people who did work there actually come out and talk about it is interesting, and I'm glad it's happening. And you know, it adds a little bit of credibility to the Lakoya Hill stuff. Again, we can't 100% confirm that's what happened. Again, it's all just like talkings and ramblings from inside the company. McCoy was never charged, or he didn't go to prison or serve any time for any of these claims. You know, same with a lot of the other stuff in the video. Some pretty serious claims, especially the Adderall one, which is a felony, literally illegal if that was true. Again, these are all allegations. We just like listening to people's stories and talking about them, commentating over them. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Please go check out the original video. Please go check out The Asher Show. Please go check out Trey Yates. Go support them. Go show some love to all these creators, because they are coming out with their stories. They're talking, I'm talking, we're all getting the ball rolling and looking at new things as they come out every day. And you know, if you aren't on my side, that's fine. I don't blame you. You know, there are plenty of other creators out there that are giving the other side of things. You know, go check out someone like Lyrics or Nicholas Diorio. You know, no hate towards them. Just saying, if you're not a fan of what I'm saying, you might like them, okay? So, peace out, my friends. Like, subscribe, share. See ya!